Hi, everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video, and welcome to Sunday, I guess, in Moscow. It's Sunday evening now. It's currently just turned 7 p.m. I've just realized there's a big reflection in my glasses. I'm sorry. I was trying to tilt down the camera just a tiny bit. So yeah, welcome everybody to the live stream. I see there's already quite a few people that were waiting to join. Again, I've repeated this a few times, but typically I'll do live streams on Saturday nights or Sunday nights, my time, unless I do something out of the ordinary and do it midweek. So sometimes I do one on the last day of the calendar month as well, just to kind of get the views ticking over for the calendar month. So I see also there's some people already chatting in the chat. I guess you'd do that, right? Also, we've got one of our channel moderators here, Dr. Gary. Good evening. How's it going? Hopefully it's all nice weather over there in Germany for you. If anybody's watching, let me know where you're from. I do recognize a few names in the chat, but of course there's always some new people here and there. So yeah, welcome. Also, we've gained a lot of subscribers in the last 2 weeks as well. So we've just ticked over 14,000 subscribers. So massive thank you to everybody who's a new subscriber to the channel and anybody that's, let's say, an existing subscriber already. So yeah, welcome. Yeah, so we'll just say a quick hello to people that have put something in the chat here. Kirsty was the first person to put a comment in the comments. Sorry, I'm a bit mixed for words today. I normally got a bit of a flow on, but I sound a little bit like I'm kind of a bit mixed with the way I'm saying things. Yeah, so Kerr, hello. Oh, hey. Gary, how's it going? Also, John Slanicki. Hello, all. Hello, John. I'll try and keep up with the chat, of course. If a lot of people are here, it might go too fast. I did turn on slow mode. So slow mode, if you're not aware, if anyone does watch other live streams or not, it just prevents people from typing comment after comment very quickly. The 20-second delay is very small. Typically, a lot of live streamers may do a 1 or 2 or 3 minute delay between a comment that you type and then if you want to type another comment, if that makes sense. So I just thought I'd try that. I've also put subscriber only mode on, which a lot of live streamers do as well. So I'd imagine most people are subscribers to the channel anyway, because you probably got notified to come and watch this. So Maran. Sorry if I butchered your name completely there. I think your channel is so interesting. Thank you. Maren. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. So Kochani, I think this is like the favorite day for hard names to pronounce. Kochani Usama. I think that's a picture of a tennis player in your emoji there, in your channel picture there. I can't quite see. Empty shops in Russia. Yes, well, some are empty. Not all are empty. I'm going to kind of just talk about that in a minute as well, because it does get brought up a lot in the comments. Oh, hello from Tunisia. Wow, Tunisia. I think is that the first person I've seen in the chat from Tunisia, I think. Lacey, hello. Oh, Real Moscow Projects is here as well. He's also our second moderator. There is a third moderator, but I think we just missed the timing of the third one in the chat also. So Real Moscow Projects, if anyone doesn't know, she has a channel here in Moscow as well. And her partner has a channel as well, Real Moscow Projects. Isn't it called Real Moscow Hobbies? But the hobbies is spelled in Russian. So greetings from Belgrade. Oh, kako si? Alexander Bognar. Kako si, brate? Staima. How quick you grow from 10,000 to 14,000. Christian, yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's actually very, very fast now. Someone always said that, a long time ago, that, reaching your first 1,000 is obviously the hardest. That's the real kind of threshold to reach. It's kind of YouTube set it at like 1,000, 100,000, and million, and then I think 100 million. I think is the other one, right? There's only a few channels at that level, but yeah, from 10,000 to 14,000, it's just sort of just barreling along, I guess you would call it. Excuse me. I just had some potato chips right before I was doing the live stream. XY, you'll find your flow. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think as I kind of just get used to talking, other than to my wife in the house, I didn't really leave the house for the last 2 days. I went out earlier to the shop. Yesterday we went to the shops as well. We go to all the local shops here. Aussie Spy, how's it going? He's another YouTuber here that I know well from. I've created a Russian YouTubers group on Telegram, and we now have 27 people in the group who are kind of in some form Russian YouTubers. Quite a few of them are outside of Russia now, but some of them are still inside Russia, I guess. Gary, thank you very much for the first super chat of the night. Thank you very much. 10 euros, very much appreciated for the channel. Pretty much any of the money that goes through super chats is basically part, obviously, of the channel, right? But it kind of goes back into the channel. So this microphone is a big component of that. This arm right here, I know that doesn't look like anything too tricky, but it's actually kind of the one that everybody talks madly about. It's not the, I'm going to say, the cheapy one that you can get on Amazon or something. It's like, actually, it would be crazy expensive in Russia if I were to buy it now with some of the price increases. But oh, hello from Turkey. I can't pronounce that, but I guess that's Turkish lettering, I guess. How is your wife doing? I remember you said that she was a bit anxious about whether or not to leave. Is she more relaxed now? Yes, XY. Yeah, we have talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. Yeah, so one of the outs, I guess you could say, one of the outs is we both obviously have passports, so we can both travel at short notice. You know, it doesn't mean everybody in Russia has a passport, even if, you know, you live and breathe and live here and so forth like that, right? I mean, it's assumed everybody in the world has a passport. And actually working on cruise ships, it's come to the fore in the last few years that not necessarily everybody has a passport that cruises, because a lot of the cruise lines don't require it because it's what they call a closed loop cruise. So you say cruise from Miami back to Miami, and you can basically re-enter the country just with a driver's license or birth certificate and things like that. So yeah, so we both have passports. My wife just renewed hers probably 3 or 4 months ago at least now. I sort of recommended her to renew it because they're 10-year passports, right? And it's considerably easier to do it here if you're Russian in Russia, obviously, versus if we were in Australia, she'd have to go over to Sydney from Perth to go to the embassy there to do it, which is just a lot harder to do. And she did it actually before they changed the rules here, where they're only issuing 5-year passports now, not 10-year ones. So yeah, she's a lot calm. Just knowing also that we can just get on the plane and fly to Australia if, you know, things go belly up. Now, I know this is hard for everyone to kind of comprehend, you know, from watching Western news and maybe not necessarily Russian news or Ukrainian news if you want to listen to, you know, what's immediately happening. But, you know, we both know we can get on the plane. We both can leave. My wife does have a business that she runs here, so she is committed to that. But obviously that could be left and lock the door and leave, so to speak. This place we are renting here. So we're on a month-to-month rental, which is very typical here. You can also do 6 months or 12 months if you want, but a lot of tenants and so forth, you can just sort of step away after a month and just let them know that you're leaving, you know. So yeah, so she's a lot happier knowing, you know, also the fact that Qatar Airways, Emirates Airlines, Etihad all are flying to Russia. So that's basically the flights that we would take to Australia through the Middle East, which is very typical to fly back to Australia. I mean, Turkish Airlines through Europe is kind of the long way around, and it wouldn't be very practical to do that. So that's definitely something that puts her mind more at ease, knowing, there's no uncertainty about us being able to leave. You know what I mean? Okay, there's obviously this talk about the borders might close. They may close the airports. They may, I don't know, close. They're the two main ones. They could close anything, right? There was even a talk of martial law, which I'm trying to explain this to my wife in a bit more real terms, of what's possible. And we do have that kind of knowledge that we can just leave. We both have valid passports. I have Russian residency here, so I've got a visa that allows me to come in and leave in and out of the country as I wish. And then she has Australian residency, so she could fly in and out of Australia as she wishes as well. So, lots of YouTubers here today. The Faceless Chef UK is here. How's it going? He also has a YouTube channel. If anyone wants to get some cooking knowledge or cooking skills, check it out. Best regards from St. Petersburg. Oh, Zdravstvuyte. Thank you. That's very nice of you. You can see there's what's that, a picture? Is it a child, or is that maybe you upside down? It looks like. Stuck at 334 subscribers. Yeah, YouTube is a grind. I mean, I'm going to be very honest with, you can look at some people's channels and they've got millions of subscribers and millions of views, and it looks easy to do, right? I mean, reaching that 1,000 subscribers is really the difficult thing. I mean, you kind of think about it, well, I can tell a few friends and family, right? I mean, that's easy. That's 3 or 4 or 5 people, maybe 10 people, maybe 20. You could tell people in the street, for instance, or at your work, or, while I was on the cruise ships, obviously I had a cruise channel called I Like Cruise Ships, and I was putting videos about cruise ships on there, and, it would come up in conversation, they'd recognize me from the videos, and, it's an easy overlap to talk about cruise ships, and you've got a cruise ship channel, so yeah, 334. Yeah, once you get to that 1,000, even 500, so you can get the community tab, it's at 500 subscribers. 234 Cheech. Had 80s Lego. Yeah, I put a poll there. What are we at with the poll? Just close that one. So 62% of people polled. So actually, we're right on 103 votes. So pretty much 60 people said they did. 38% didn't have Lego as a child, which is kind of interesting. On the other poll that I did, do you still have Lego in the house? I think I put, and it's like 50-50. So obviously maybe you had it and got rid of it, or you don't have it any longer. Maybe your age, doesn't mean you keep it at the home, or there's a lot of adult Lego fans as well. There's an acronym called AFL, Adult Fans of Lego. AFL? Adult Fans of Lego. It's basically an acronym which is Adult Collectors of Lego, Fans of Lego, whatever you want to kind of put yourself in. So it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of YouTube channels about it as well, and collectors and people selling or reselling Lego. There's a huge market for people buying brand new Lego sets. And then there's some websites that you can register, kind of like buy and sell ones, where you can part out every single individual part of a brand new Lego set. And people can buy just one piece of Lego or hundreds of pieces. Maybe you want a specific piece to finish a set or model or something. And there's actually, if you buy it, say, let's call it $20 or $30 in the store, let's call it $33. So they always want to double or triple the resale value. So a $33 Lego set can get you maybe as much as $100 or $90 in resale of individual parts, because some parts are considerably rarer than others. So there's a big market for reselling Lego all around the world, even. Real Moscow Project. My first Lego set was bought in 2017. It's a Doctor Who Lego. Oh, cool. I know you're into all those different sci-fi kind of adventure kind of things. Hello from the desert southwest of the US. Michael O'Brien, how's it going? Can I be mobilized? Alexander the Danish boy. Oh, that's an interesting name. Technically, I guess you could be. I could be. I mean, if they brought extreme laws and rules into place where they would drive trucks up and down the streets and they'd take buses into the shopping centers and train bus stations, I could be. As an Australian passport holder and not a Russian passport holder, I also don't have a military ID. So a lot of technicalities in the list of who they require or need or want, I'm not in that list. So it's technically not for now. Technically. Are they not a 2-tier passports in Russia? Yeah. So yeah, there is an internal passport. I guess I don't know what the official name of that is. Maybe Real Moscow Project knows. So you basically have like an internal passport, and then you've got a international passport. So my wife got the international one, which is the classic one with the microchip in it and the photograph and the things like that. The normal looking passport. The internal one, I think you get for a lot more years, something like 20 or 30 or 40 years or something. You keep the other one for. My wife's always depressed by the photograph in that she can't change. She can't renew it or change it. So, this is Glebe. Oh, Russell, it's your neighbor Glebe. Now I'm in Turkey, but soon I'll be going to Serbia, Belgrade. Oh, Здравствуйте, Gleb. Gleb. I'm going to say Glebe. I know he doesn't like it, but Gleb. There we go, everybody. So if anyone did watch the video with my neighbor and I, Gleb and I, he's live in the chat here. So if anyone wants to, I guess, ask or say something. Bearable Cruising is here. Greetings to you, Russell, and everyone from the Bay Area. Yes, San Francisco. I'm not Russian. Yes, I'm an Australian passport holder with Russian residency in my passport. Gary says Lego didn't exist when he was a boy. Wow. Yeah, I don't know when. I don't know the year it was invented. I didn't really look up any of the history of Lego, but Lego's come a long way from the time that I had it. Yeah, even for me, if I look at some of the original Lego classic sets that I had, it's now they've got all the robotics and things like that, and the Lego architecture. I saw there in the Lego shop that I filmed there. I'm going to still call it the Lego shop. They had like the stadiums, and there's different city skylines, which was very neat. Going rate is $100 a kilo for Lego. Yeah, in Australia it's TT. Oh, TT's, how's it going? In Australia it's very high price, and also I've got a friend who's a Lego reseller in Perth as well. He does it and he sells it at markets, and he sells it online. It's called Bricklink is the website that he sells it online as well. And he also does fairs and conventions. So he actually makes models that you can enter to win prizes, and I don't know what else you win, but yeah, wish I'd kept yours. Yeah. This thing in Australia, if you look on like Facebook Marketplace, for instance, the price for Lego was it's the resale of it. People have realized that it's not a cheap thing just to sell and give away, so to speak. I was doing a little bit of a side hustle in Australia. I was reselling Blu-ray movies, DVDs, but it was Blu-ray movies that I was concentrating on. I thought DVDs were something that people wanted, but people were wanting only very, very, very specific movies they just couldn't get. And I was actually buying bulk lots of them from people from Facebook Marketplace and then reselling them on eBay. And I was doing okay with it. I mean, I was selling a few movies per day, sometimes 5, 7, 8, 9 per day. But it's just a grind. You've got to go and kind of buy people's entire collections essentially and then resell them, and then you'll get some valuable ones out of it. But a lot of people have the same collection of movies, all like the big releases throughout the years. Kerr, hey, Russell and Evgenia. I think you're saying Evgenia. Yeah, she's actually in the other room watching TV. We had dinner a little bit earlier. I had pasta tonight. We did pasta yesterday. We kind of end up with 2 days of it. So it was very nice with mini pasta called piccolini pasta. So yeah, I had pasta for dinner, and she actually made soup. Actually, probably can't see it. It's right there, I think. Yes, it's just there. You can see the soup on the kitchen top, and they're my wife's flowers from her birthday. They're just lasting now the last couple of days of her birthday. So, hi from Sweden. Is it possible you to live stream in 4K? I didn't. Now, I did look at one of the settings on this. I don't think I can change it now that it's too late, I guess you could call it. Let's change that to live. Yeah, I know that it's different latencies that you've got to adjust to change the live streaming options, because ideally if I was to go do a walking one in Red Square, which I was thinking about doing as well, it's really very grainy and blurry, and I've got to turn down the resolution of the camera to allow the stream to be better. I don't know what the top streamers are doing. They must have some amazing camera to do it. I know you can change there's a resolution option where you can change the resolution of the current viewed video. Like a lot of times it's on auto, and you can change it to like 480, 720, 1080, 4K, 8K, whatever Ks. Aussie, yeah, they can only simply ask if you want to be based on current knowledge. Yes. Thank you, Aussie Spy. Hello from Los Angeles. Michael Lawn, how's it going? Saud Said? Is that right? Hello? Oh, lots of hellos. Sorry, Mento is here. Another serial watcher. I did notice someone say that in a live stream, that they've got serial watchers of their channel. And I think a lot of the regulars are here in the live stream tonight. So, yes, sorry, welcome to another live stream. Oh, you liked Meccano. Yeah, I didn't have any Meccano. I don't remember having Meccano as a kid. Maybe I had like one set and I just didn't play with it. I know I had definitely a lot of Lego. Lego is from 1949. Yes. Oh, there you go. So, Gary, you're not 50. No, that's about the age. Gary, you're younger than that, I think. Hello from California. Oh, lots of hellos. A lot of people joining a little bit later. Victoria Alice. Hello. New name. Oh, 1962 in Germany. Lego company started. Yeah, I guess it kind of was invented at some point and then maybe not got to all the countries till a lot later. Unless someone's over 90, it's not around. Yeah, Gary's not that old. I had my first Lego set when I was 24. Does it still count that I got it as a child? Yeah, 24s. We're all young at heart, right? Rostoma. Yes, absolutely. Oh, there you go. Michael says there, August 10, 1932 in Billund, Denmark. Painted in 1958. Lego Land, anyone? I've not been to a Lego Land. Yeah, has anyone been to a Lego Land? Yeah, I know there's one in Florida for sure. I've not been to that one. I've been to the different theme parks in Orlando, but I've not been to the Lego one. So really been expanding in 1960s, according to Wiki. Oh, Vit said that he had an analog of Lego in 1983 when he was 4 years old. Yeah, there is quite a few different analogs of Lego. I think even around the world, there's a lot of copies of Lego, or they say a lot in Russia, analogs, like different versions of a product. And I did mention in a comment to somebody that even if you go to the supermarket here, like to Ashan and Magnit, actually, Magnit has them. They've got like a little collection of this analog of Lego, which is like the little Magnit supermarket. And then there's the truck that you can get. Yeah, there is a few different analogs. A friend's house we've been to, their son had it in his bedroom, like a whole collection of them, and it's just a much cheaper alternative, right? So started in Holland. Oh, you guys all know all the different things. I was used by constructor metal with nuts and bolts and metal. Yeah. Is Russia better than Australia? That's a very, very hard question to answer quickly. It would almost be an entire like video where I could, if anyone watches Inside Russia and the way Konstantin does his videos, he does like half an hour talking about a question or a topic. I guess I could do that purely about this. There's a lot of differences. I mean, if I take out what's going on right now away from that, obviously there's a big imbalance then if that was the case. But if I compare the cost of living, the cost of electricity, phone bills, the average cost of food, there's a lot of points to living in Russia. Especially the fact I've been here a lot of years, going back 9 years now. The weather's better in Australia, so you could take the weather as a better thing. There's the true 4 seasons in Russia and in Europe, right? In Australia, in Perth, we don't have the true seasonal weather. So, sorry, Have I just missed? Please don't tell me I've missed it. No, there's a super chat from Rudy Kisley. You're still monetarized. Good. Yes, I'm still monetarized. So yeah, just going back to the Australia thing, and then I'll talk about this monetarized thing because it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of decision about, is it better here? Is it better there? I mean, my wife and I could write a long list between us, what I like about Russia, what she likes about Australia, and they'd almost cancel each other out a lot as well. I guess the one thing that's importantly different for me, I don't have a full-time job here. Whereas in Australia, I had a job I was going to every day of the week. So that was something that was kind of different as well. So I don't have that commitment of a job every morning when I wake up, whereas in Australia, I was going to work I was leaving from home just after 6 a.m. every morning to get to work for 7. So, even 6:45, I'd get there sometimes, depending on the traffic, So, there's a lot of things to weigh up. Michael says you're only in 720p. Or maybe we can do the live together next weekend. Yeah, Gleb asked if he could come on a live stream together, and I can bring him into this chat. I can send him the link to this chat that we're in now, and we can actually be side by side in the live stream. So the fact now Gleb's now in Turkey. So if anyone will be interested in that, let us know in the comments, really, about if you'd like to see Gleb in a chat, and we can maybe ask him questions and so on like that. I mean, I don't mind at all. I know he doesn't mind doing it. So greetings from England. Hello. I've got lots of relatives in Yorkshire. My Samsung 8K TV, and I've changed it to 4K. Evening from Surrey. Let's hope everyone is chat as well. Yes, Susie, how's it going? I think you finally managed to catch a live stream. Oh, now it's going too much. Lego. I think it's interesting talking about Lego. I know it's not maybe a topic that's topical now, but I guess the video I made about them leaving Russia. Isn't there a Lego thing in Moscow? I've heard something about it before from somewhere. I forgot. I don't know about a Lego thing. There's a lot of Lego stores. Yeah, Legoland theme park in California. Oh, thank you, Michael O'Brien, for the super sticker. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Yeah, super chats are working. Super thanks. So, super chats and super stickers are when you're watching a live stream like this. And then you can also watch a video. And then where the comment section is, there's super thanks, which is basically you can put a donation, I guess you would call it, onto an individual video. And then it basically works in together into the AdSense is what the payment form is. Hello from Magnikorsky. I don't know where that is, Konstantin, but hello, здравствуйте. More freedom of speech in Australia. I mean, I've never been to not to talk about like this, but I've never been to a rally or a protest or anti this, anti that thing in my life. I know in Australia we have them when a lot of the different trade unions go on strikes, like the teachers, the nurses, the construction workers. But I've never worked in the industry to support it or not support it. So yeah, thank you, Michael, for the last super sticker there. So yeah, just talking about monetization. So I had a message from somebody a couple of days ago in my YouTubers group asking if their channels have been demonetized. And I'm like, no, mine's all fine. I mean, there's like these little green symbols that show on your analytics, and it's all fine. And he said that his has like disappeared, like the monetization part of what you'd see in the channel has disappeared. The current video he was going to upload, it's not giving you the option to monetize it. You can turn monetization off on your channel as well. By the way, you don't have to monetize it. Now, some channels don't. Some channels don't feel they want to do it for the first 6 months or a year, for instance. Sorry, just scroll down there. Oops, that's a lot of scrolling. So yeah, and then I watched another random YouTuber who I don't know, or don't know him personally, and he did a video about other people who are demonetized, particularly people that are doing content about what's happening with Russia right now and Ukraine right now. And obviously they're very, very outspoken about it and have got very, very specific stances about it. And whether or not they're getting demonetized across the board because of their hard stance on the situation. There seems to be a bit of a thing going. Maybe 4 or 5 or 6 different YouTubers have seen this happen on their channels. So yeah, 100% my channel. I mean, I do supermarket walkarounds. You guys know that from the videos. Supermarkets, shopping centers. I went to that Mercedes car dealership. So there's not very much in the way of kind of negative thoughts, and there's a lot of all over the place comments on the videos, but there isn't that negative connotation of my channel, if that makes sense. Not sure about now, as I don't live there anymore. Growing up in Australia in the 70s was a perfect upbringing. Nice. Yeah, I was 76 was my birthday, so there we go. Yeah, talking about Konstantin. Yeah, I'll just talk about this because I did notice that he did do a live stream on the morning of this happening. He did do a live stream completely out of character because he does them at the same time every night. I think it's 10 or 11 p.m. Russia time every night. So it goes live at the same time every day for everyone else around the world that watches him. And he did the one that morning. And it was more like a news one than basically about his normal topics. And then he did do a community post right afterwards that he had a lot of negative comments and a lot of bad comments and a lot of obviously very politically motivated comments. So I guess he decided just to completely delete it because it was just out of alignment with all his other videos. I haven't talked to him personally about it, so I don't know the exact story, but I would imagine just from reading his community post and the way he wrote it, he just didn't like all the bad comments. I mean, if I know this is hard to say, and it's really up to you how you take this, but if you're gonna give it, you've got to expect to take it. Is that right? I think if you give it, you've got to expect to take it. And even if I look at a lot of the comments on my videos, I mean, probably the most commented video by a long way is the Iranian car video, the Tara. And the amount of negative comments about that car and that car model, it's unbelievable. I mean, I saw it at a car show or a car parts show. I didn't drive it. It wasn't in a dealership or anything like that. It was one car. There was entire convention about car parts. Imagine if you're a car buff, it would be amazing. But and they had one car there. Well, they actually had two because it was a couple of different brands in the same Iranian section of the convention. And the amount of negative comments about that. I mean, I really rarely delete comments unless they're very, very badly worded or rude, if that makes sense, or there's quite aggressive words in the comments. So yeah, I can see why he would have deleted it purely because of that. I mean, I rarely delete comments. Then there is a few comments that get held for review, but I guess YouTube does that. They actually pull, I guess they read what someone types and they can decipher that it's not appropriate. So, oh, yes, for Glebe. There we go. One of my favorite films was made in Oz, Chopper. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Chopper, or Chopper Reed is the guy's name. He was kind of would you consider him a gang member or a bike? He was a bikie or a gang member, right? And hello. Oh, yes, for Glebe. Lacey wants Gleb. Lacey wants you on. Lacey wants Gleb on the channel. So you go. All you Americans who support Russia must live in Russia. I don't know. Have you seen Chopper Reed does the weather? I haven't. No. I have not seen that he does the weather. That would be interesting. Would love to see Gleb and Russell on the video. John Stanicki. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, he's in Turkey and I'm here. So he can't just come down in the elevator from his apartment. He lives above me, by the way. So yeah, we can easily set it up if he wants to do that and get the timing right. Upstate New York. How's it going, Scott? Sending love and prayers your way. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Everyone does all these emojis, and I can never figure out typing emojis. One of your videos is a supermarket I see a lot of good from Italy. Where are they getting their goods since here in Italy do not support exports to Russia? Ciao from Italy. Oh, buonasera. Saverio di Porchi. I've been to Italy a few times. I've been to the shipyards in Marghera and Monfalcone. I love Italy, really do. I could be there. If I could choose anywhere to take a holiday in Europe, let's just say Europe, I would go to Italy tomorrow. I know it's a normal place. I know it's where you live. It's like we all have that dream in our head, but I was there a lot of weeks, bordering a month there in the shipyards. So loved Italy. Yeah, look, they'll get their goods through third-party countries. They call it parallel importing. That's the key word they're using a lot now. So they would have, importers that are bringing it in through Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Georgia, Armenia. So they would come in through that and that way, and then people would buy them from the wholesale markets, like the Food City, the one that I've been to. So yeah, it's. I mean, actually, even like the pastas. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of companies that have set up manufacturing here. So like with the pastas, there's a lot of them that have got Italian logos and symbols on them, but they're actually made and produced in Russia. So rather than importing Italian pasta, if you want to call it that, it's Russian-made Italian pasta. Yeah, World of Cubes is new Russian version of Lego Store after Lego left. Yes, I'm pretty sure. Everybody watch the video? It's now just about surpassed how many views based on how many subscribers are on the channel. Yeah, I didn't do the video solely on that store. I actually did intend to go to a few different ones in the video. And that was the whole point of it, to show other stores that have opened and changed. The one thing I found interesting was I kind of filmed the first part, then that second part where I said, Elvis has left the building. I'd stopped and chatted to the staff there for probably 15 minutes, nearly half an hour. All the staff were very, very nice, very, very chatty. And the guy was like, oh, you can ask us any questions you like about the business. They've obviously been informed that maybe media might come in, people with cameras might come in, particularly to Avia Park, that mall. It's quite known that when a new store opens, they launch it at Avia Park. And the one thing I was interested in was, are you allowed to say the word Lego? Are you being told you can't say, obviously, Lego and the brand and the branding and the company and the history? And they're like, no, we've not been told anything. Everything is basically business as usual. The actual franchisee that was all the stores in Russia, it's the same company that's effectively, let's say, continued on the business. It's not a new company that's bought the business, if you like. So nothing essentially has changed at all. Zero, apart from the sign on the building, or the door, I guess you could call it, and some posters inside. Even all the ticketing is the same, and the price tags and the ticketing, nothing has changed. They did say that over time they expect some prices to go up a little, but not giant increases where they would have the chance just to double everything purely because they have the only Lego in Russia. So, yeah, it's just very interesting that about that. I asked him, "Are you still? Have you got to call it World of Cubes? Is it now not bricks? Is it now cubes?" And so on. They're like, "No, we can say whatever we like. Still, we've not been told anything otherwise." So, yeah, Karen Up Shopping. Yeah, the Karen Up Shops has an official Lego store now. Yeah, so incognito. Yeah, so in Perth, Australia, we've only recently got. Didn't they not open one now in Burragoon in Garden City? So there's actually now 2 Lego stores in Perth, which we never had for years before now. So, interesting. My 50s childhood popular boy building toys. Erector sets. Yes, Lincoln logs. Anyone remember chemistry sets? Dangerous military and cowboy figurines. Yes. Yeah, we call them figurine action men. Yeah. They're all back to monetarize now. Yeah. So yeah, just changing topics a little. Yeah, this was yesterday. I was talking to a guy from our chat group, the YouTubers group, about this, and I guess his channel was basically shut down, if you want to call it that, for however many hours, and then these other guys all produce videos. I guess I could make a video. My channel's been demonetized and create panic as well, where it's just waiting for whatever hours, and maybe something in the background of YouTube is just broken down a little bit. Moscow Circus, please. Yeah. They started. They're not smuggling goods here. It's all getting imported. It's coming in on trucks. It's all normal. My first Barbie was from my dad in 1993. Wow. Mattel says second largest behind Lego. Yeah. Then came Barbie dolls. Yeah, I guess it was kind of like a boys thing and a girls things, right? Yeah, if it was feeling sad about the bridge, well, which I think, yeah. You can give it You should take it. Right. Yeah. Thank you, Anne. Right. Yeah. If you give it, you should take it. No, I agree with that. Yeah. This is, appreciate your videos. You're a good guy. Thank you, Leo. I know you comment on some of the videos as well. Thank you. Yeah. I know this is a big thing because I look at it the same way. I mean, the one thing that YouTube tells you, if you watch trainings and how to create better content, and it asks you to ask the viewers questions in the videos. And you'll notice I do that when I do the shopping ones. I turn the camera back on me, asking you, what do you think? You know, what's your reply to this situation, you know, and Lego leaving. And I expect that there'll be people that, I mean, pretty much nobody really has mentioned anything negative about it. There was one or two comments that, you know, Lego should completely just remove everything from Russia and the store should never continue trading, you know. But otherwise, it's very normal kind of comments about the video generally. So I'm okay with it in these videos. Don't come running. Don't come running back with the poles melt. I guess you're talking about living on the equator, right? Yeah, you're that geezer who reviewed that Ukrainian car. Well, I did a walk around of it. I didn't really review it so much. Yeah, if you watch the video, yeah, it's had like 300,000 views now. It's like my second most viewed video. It's really weird. Like all the videos you don't think will do well, do really well. And the videos that you kind of think are more appropriate do less views. Cooking with Russell, good idea. Oh, thank you, Donkey. Yeah, I'm not a very good cook. Even the soup, my wife made that. I didn't do any part of that soup. The pasta I can make myself if I had to, but Jen doesn't mind making it. So, Ostian, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Hi from Ossetia. But I moved to USA 10 years ago. Do you have a plan to visit South Russia? Glory to Ukraine, free Russia. Yeah. We don't have really any travel plans at the moment. We're honestly and truly, our head is, to say our head is spinning. I probably am a little bit more level-headed than what my wife is. I mean, her head, you know, every other day she's thinking about something different. You know, I miss Australia. I miss Bali. I miss my mum's home cooked Sunday roast, you know, and I miss being able to walk at the beach. And you know, it's we don't have any immediate travel plans to go anywhere in Russia right now. At worst, or at best, we'd probably go visit family in Ufa, which is where my wife's family are from. But not to just generally traveling. It's not that everybody's mad, you know, suddenly not traveling and leaving and going anywhere. People are still going about their day-to-day things and have plans, but that's kind of, I guess you're inviting me to South Russia, or it's Southern Russia, I guess you would say. Ossetia. I'll have to look up that place after. I've just eaten a big special roll from Vykuzni Tochka. Loved it. Oh, you went to... I've not been for... Well, actually, I tell a lie. I went... When I filmed the video for the Lego store, I did go and have a burger. I figured out the Kuzny Tochka app on my phone. And when you've got an app on the phone, they send you like promotions and freebies, and they keep sending you like 1 ruble offers. So you can get fries for 1 ruble, or a cheeseburger for 49 rubles, or a hamburger, 2 hamburgers for 150 rubles. So I did actually have Kuzny Tochka that day. I didn't put it in the video because I think I've gone 3 videos of it now. My wife was very mad too. She told me when I went out that day, she's like, "Oh, have something for lunch or dinner, because I'm not sure what are we going to cook for dinner." And then I got home and she's like, "Oh, dinner's ready. I've done like beef in the oven with potatoes and vegetables." And I'm like, "You told me not to let me have something." And then I came home and she'd had dinner ready. So the background looks nice and neat, Russell. Thanks for cleaning up before starting the stream. That was my wife today. She, well, actually, I did a lot. I did some washing up as well. So yeah, it's actually, oh, maybe not now because we've got the dishes from dinner there that I need to fix afterwards. So it's like you know me. I'm not sure who that is, me, but here in Scotland we have a small village. Its name is Moscow. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I know there's a Moscow in America too, or Moscow Township or Moscow region. I don't know what they call it in America. I didn't know there was one in Scotland. Yeah, does Lego and Russian World of Cubes connect with one another? They're exactly They're exactly the same thing. There is no difference whatsoever. It's literally, actually, the stores didn't even close. I know they mentioned in the press release that the stores will all reopen by the end of October, is what they've said. But all the stores that I've been to in all the malls that I've been to, they're all open. So they've never closed, essentially. They just changed the signs overnight. And then the name badges that the staff were wearing, I don't know if it was even a different name badge, but they were wearing the same shirts. They did have name badges on, but they didn't have the Lego logo on their name badges. So I don't know English. Oh, no worries. Plans to St. Petersburg. We've talked about this, well, not on the channel, but my wife and I about 100 times about going there. I really wanted, now that actually Dimmer from Russia's now left, but I really wanted to go meet him in St. Petersburg. That was really my plan. But now he's now left, so there's another super chat because I'm so behind now. I really want to make sure I mention super chats. Thanks, Russell, for your useful, informative, and cheerful stream. Oh, sorry. Thank you, sorry. That's very nice of you. $10 for the super chat. That's super nice of everybody who's doing super chats, by the way. It's now I've completely lost where I'm at. So when are you going to go back on the cruise ships and make some real money? Actually, that's another comment of conjecture. 10 minutes before I went live, I have an interview either tomorrow or Tuesday, where a video interview like this, a Skype call with a company about a job on cruise ships, on another company, but essentially still on cruise ships, doing the same retail shops and things like that, the duty-free shops. And then my wife comes in earlier on. She's like, "Oh, maybe I don't want you to go now." She's been like telling me to go for like 6 months. And then now it's kind of come right down to the make or break. And she doesn't want me to go now. So I'm like, you can't tell me that I've got the interview tomorrow. She's like, "Oh, you can still have the interview and they can still tell you what they're offering." I'm like, well, this company, I know people working there, and they told me just to do the application process just for formalities. And then your job is yours, so yeah, I've just bought an iPhone 14 in Moscow, produced for Belgium. No problem at all, and the price was very normal. Yeah, that's another thing that I didn't. Yesterday, I went to my local shopping center here. It's down the road, 10 minutes walk, and the guy is going to let me make a walk around of the electronics store, or it's really more of a home store, with fridges, electronics, TVs, kettles. And I really want to point out the iPhone 14s there that you can buy in Russia already, because they're available, right? And like you said, they're very normal prices. I want to see your taste. I want you to say. I see what I want to see you taste the Russian food. Yeah, I guess the soups that my wife makes. She makes the different beetroot soup. We do a lot of chicken and beef soups. We kind of like them. Do we think about having kids? At the moment, no. We did. My wife's best friend is about to have a baby next month. So maybe after that happens, it might be a different story. For now, or not. So I enjoyed. Oh, there we go. I enjoyed the video of the high-end Mercedes dealership. Thanks for doing that. It was interesting to see the prices and to translate the prices from Russian currency to US currency. Yeah, I guess the one thing that's kind of the caveat to that is that was the exchange rate of the price of that car. If you went to a Mercedes dealership in America, for instance, where you live, obviously you'd have the American pricing. So that's, some people said they're double or triple here in Russia right now for a Mercedes car, which I can understand. I mean, if I look at some of their models and the prices, it's definitely gone up a lot. Honestly, the dealership I want to go to is either a Chinese car dealership or a Russian car dealers like the Lada or the Kamaz. I want to go to those because they're kind of a little bit more unique than to go to normal car dealerships. We went there with my friend to take his Audi in there to get a price on a trade-in, and it happens to be kind of a combined dealership. So not enjoying Konstantin's video since he moved. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't watch every single live stream. I watch a little bit of it, maybe 15 minutes, half an hour of it. The one he just did the other day with the guy where they didn't have the microphone set up very well, wasn't very good. Maybe he's got a lot on his mind and he's confused, or everything's gone haywire. I don't know. Good to see you again. Thank you, Dudley. Dudley Hader. Thank you. That's very nice of you to say hello. Yeah, Nelly, I understand. I take your comment and understand completely. Moscow is a city in Idaho. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Did you see Sanction Ivan's video on his journey to Turkey from Moscow? It was very much an adventure video. His very best video ever. Yeah, I did actually watch one of the two of them. I think he did two different ones, right? I do chat to him occasionally, not like we did when we knew each other much closer. Yeah, I just don't know with him what his plan is. You know what I mean? It's like just jump in the car. He's driven 3,000 kilometers or so all the way to Turkey with his car and a couple of friends, obviously. But I don't know what his plan is after that. That's the thing. That's what bothers me a little bit with people that have just up and left. Logi Mensch, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you very much. Again, everybody that's sending these, I do appreciate it. It helps a lot for me to continue making videos. In a strange kind of way, obviously, the better the videos do here in Russia, the less my wife will be wanting me to go back to work. Back to the cruise ships. Lego is not sponsoring me. No, I really wanted to. I mean, look, in the last lot of months, there's a lot of shops that have changed branding and not necessarily changed ownership, because a lot of them, it's the same ownership as it was, but the signage outside has changed. And Lego is a worldwide brand, and it's obviously very topical when this is happening right now in Russia. So even like with the Mercedes dealership there, I mean, that's a Mercedes certified dealership selling brand new model Mercedes. And Mercedes are still arriving, they're still selling them. Nothing has changed. And a lot of people think that all the dealerships have closed, all the car yards are empty. They're definitely not. I mean, that place there was a 6-level building, and they had basically kind of, especially on the top I guess the top 2 levels or 3 levels were just, it looked like a multi-level car park. And when they sent us up to that top level, they're like, go on up there while we're waiting for the Audi pricing. And it was just rows of cars, like, late model luxury cars. And it was just incredible to see that many that are, still in Russia, sort of thing, if that makes sense. If they hired you on the cruise ships, take it. You can always quit the job if your wife really needs you back home. Cash from the job might be handy now, though. Yeah, to be very honest, I can earn, well, I can earn more money making videos about the cruise ships and the ports of call and how to get to the beach videos, probably than I can working on the cruise ships in my job. The salary on cruise ships isn't great unless you really are in management or you're the captain or the doctor or chief engineer, where they're, truly skilled people. I can make money working on cruise ships. I don't have any outlay or spending. I don't have to pay for food, obviously house, rent, car, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, I can go. My wife, we knew each other for a few years before. Well, when we first met, I was still on the cruise ship. So she knows the situation with me doing this and going back and forward and things like that. So, did I read this first? Russell, you're always speaking with such enthusiasm of outlets such as Kuzni Tochka and the likes. Do you really realize how and to what extent unhealthy all the food stuff is? Curious Monkey. Yes, I know that McDonald's, let's call it McDonald's, Kuzni Tochka, isn't healthy for you. I made of plastic. I must admit, I will tell you that I think the burgers are better since they changed from the McDonald's to the Kuzni Tochka. I think they're a little bit tastier. They're a little bit more better quality vegetables and the meat. All fast food really isn't good for you. There's a lot of calories in it. I realize that. The fries, the chips, the cool drinks. No, I understand that part, but I don't know. It's hard to please everybody, right? And then send for your wife. Yeah, it would be great if she can get on the ships. It would be near impossible for her to get a US visa right now, purely because it's not just simply going to the US embassy in Moscow to do that. They're still being issued. You can still get visas. It's just not technically that easy to get an American visa to join. The cruise ship that I would typically join will be in America. So, did we make a decision on the kitchen cabinets? No, we're going to go together. Actually, while I was at the shopping center doing the Lego video, I was also at Obi, which is a 2-level home improvement store. And I went in there to look at the sinks for the bathroom. So the bathroom that we've got in that studio doesn't have a sink in there, but you can buy a kind of shallow sink that goes above the washing machine. And I want to really get that done as a priority because it's now a couple that are living there, and get a sink put in there, which we know we can get a plumber to do that. So I went to look for a sink. I've got the plans. Actually, I don't have them here with me. They're in my other bag. I've got the plans all measured up, and we're going to go, Jen and I, to not to Obi, to Leroy Merlin, which is another homeware store, and get them to quote us the price. And then, since we were at the studio a couple of weeks ago, well, last week, we're now in a WhatsApp group with people from that building. And they've got a guy, actually the same plumber guy, can actually fit kitchens. So we are going to go and quote a kitchen. I'll put some photos in the community tab for sure. I'll skip over a few bits here. People choose to send money to Constantine. Yeah, it's a lot of money. I'll be very honest. I do know him and so forth. But it is not just some money; it's a lot of money. We'll suspend the export of the passenger vehicles and vans to Russia, as well as the local manufacturing, as of March. Yeah, I don't believe. I don't think. You'd think at a point there'd be no cars whatsoever for sale because they'd run out, right? The supplies would run out. But I don't think, based on us going to that dealership the other day, or it was last weekend now, that it would be that empty, and it wasn't. There was cars in the car park outside. There was cars around the back. Just subscribe to your channel and find the content of your videos very interesting. Good luck with the cruise ship job. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's that interview. It's well, I've not scheduled it. I can either do it tomorrow lunchtime or Tuesday lunchtime, and I'm thinking I'll do it for Tuesday because I don't want to wake up in the morning and then feel a bit. And my wife said I've got to shave because I can do it on Skype. I only have to get my head looking perfect. It does say in the video you can be smart casual. No, smart. Well, business casual or business like. I'm like, it's a Skype call, you know. I'll just put a nice polo on but I'll have a shave and I'll, do myself up a little bit. Junk food, yeah. Your wife is so pretty. Thank you. Jay Thomas, thank you. I love home remodeling. Yeah, we will definitely do something about the kitchen. It's really down to the price. We don't need anything fancy in there. It honestly doesn't need a fancy kitchen. It is a studio apartment. It's designed really for one person, not really for two. The couple that have moved in there in their 20s, they're young. They've just moved out from home. They weren't living together. So it's good for them, If you do not have enough content to use on your cruise ship channel, I guess you would have to start being a passenger and go on a cruise and make content. Yeah, I thought about that before February, that I could now easily fly to Europe and do cruises. But yeah, it's not worked out. So, TTs, thank you for $10 super chat. Thank you. Good to see your subscribers are growing. Yes. Yeah, now it's 14,000. It's really, honestly, it's jumped so quickly in the last few months. It's really, really, really jumped. Did I miss anybody? Very few people in Russia buy Mercedes. We like Japanese and Chinese cars. Yeah, look, Mercedes, a lot of these factories, car manufacturers have manufacturing in Russia. Mercedes has a couple of different plants here in Russia that they were making Mercedes cars in Russia. Let me just scroll back here. I feel like, did I miss a super chat? No. Logi merch and then TTs. Thank you. Yes, no, I didn't. Yeah, there's a lot of Mercedes, a lot of Mercs, a lot of Mercedes in Moscow. Yes. Especially in Moscow center. I mean, I know in the suburbs here, I can see them where I live. But if you're in the middle of Moscow, right in the center, especially with that walking area that you and we've walked before, I mean, the amount of Mercedes, BMWs, Porsche, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I know when I walked with Ben, the guy from New Zealand, in the other video I did, he was in shock. I mean, we walked down one street where there were some cafes, not far from Red Square, and the amount of luxury cars we found on this one little side street. I mean, we joked about it. It's probably more than there is in the whole country of New Zealand. Yeah. Oh, in the 80s, there was a lot of Ladas and Skodas in Scotland. Not about Moscow. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you go to, even in going over to Ufa with my wife, this was last year now, I mean, there's a lot less luxury cars. I mean, I would call the Mercedes a luxury car. I mean, probably in Russia or in Europe, it's probably not considered luxury, but I consider it is. Anything kind of beyond my Hyundai or let's say a Toyota or a Ford or the basic family cars is a luxury car to me. So my buddy, his uncle has one. It's from the 60s. If you take a job on the cruise ships, does the cruise line reimburse your flights back and forward to Moscow? Yes, they do. Yes, Ari. Yeah, that's the one thing that's they implemented that, let's say legally or officially, a couple of years ago. They had some changes in the maritime labor laws a few years ago, and I think even now they pay for the visa as well, like the US visa that you would need, the C1D visa. But yeah, they definitely pay the tickets to and from your destination, I guess, or your home port or home city. So yeah. Is it true that there's 2 women for every man in Moscow? Honestly, years and years ago when I first came here and I went out in Moscow, particularly summertime, you'd see women everywhere. Your eyes were just watering. Beautiful Russian women. Russian women dress up. They look beautiful. They go out. They look beautiful. They go to the supermarket here. And in the last few years, I've honestly stopped looking or stopped noticing women in Moscow. Yes, there are. They dress well. They're very moderately dressed. They're not gorish and outlandish in their dress sense. And I don't notice beautiful, amazing women as much as I should. When I was with Ben walking around, we were looking at the cars more than anything, and there'd be like just a couple of almost like supermodels walk by us and we wouldn't have barely noticed in between us. We're obviously both married. We're both completely happy with, you can still look. I don't think there's any harm in ever looking at another person in the street, right? But yeah, it's, I don't know, about 2 for 1 man. That's a good statistic if you're single and, I don't know. Hi from Florida. I watched, oh, there we go. I enjoy watching Russell, Zangief, and Nikki anymore. I used to watch Constantine when he was getting started. Russell is definitely more engaging and down to earth. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Yeah, I have met Constantine. I've mentioned this quite a few times. We do live 15 minutes down the road from each other, which is very, very close. Real Moscow Project's in the chat. We've met as well. Zangief I haven't met, and Nikki obviously was in St. Petersburg, so I haven't met him. I know they all got together and made one video recently, and I couldn't message Constantine quick enough about it. And then he got on the phone and called me and said, look, I'm sorry, it wasn't my plan to meet and go to that supermarket video they all made. Constantine's videos are very, I enjoy his earlier videos a lot more as well. When he was out with his family, out with his son, he'd go walking in Moscow. He'd do videos where he lives, like his community where he lives and so on. And I agree. I liked the content. Now it's obviously more very specific and very niche, very, very niche. It's almost too topical for me to listen to as well, because I don't know all the history of what he's talking about necessarily. So, yeah, thank you. I'm glad you like the videos. Yeah, Zangief, I would imagine I've not even chatted to him. I should send him a hello because I know he doesn't live far from where I am here. And I should try to catch up with him if I can. Of course, Moscow is much richer than all of Russia. Yeah, that's very well known and documented. I just noticed there that Bearbull has 3 months as a member of the channel. Also, right at the top of the chat, Dr. Gary also had, was his 6 months? No, I don't know how many months both of you guys were having like an anniversary of your channel membership. So thank you for being channel members. I do appreciate all of the extra support you guys give. Did you go to Ufa like tourists or to visit relatives? I've never been to Ufa. It's not quite popular for tourism. Did you enjoy the city? Yeah, we kind of did 3 days. How long were we there? We were there for 5 days. We kind of did 3 days with family. We actually we literally got there early morning. We got a taxi to her cousin's house. And then we got in the car and drove literally to Davlekanova, which is her auntie's house. And then we went to a kind of chalets by a river or by a lake that we stayed in for 2 nights, I think. And then we came back to Ufa and then we stayed I've lost track of it now. We stayed 2 nights at her auntie's house, and then we came back to Ufa, and we had one night in a hotel. And I made a video on the hotel, like a hotel review video, which didn't get any views. If you actually go back to my channel on its homepage and then go back to oldest videos first, you'll see those first early videos. It's a year ago only, you know. So yeah, we did walk around a little bit in the center of Ufa, and that's pretty much about it, really. You know, need to have money to go out with the Russian women. Yes, absolutely do. Yeah, it's I'm very lucky with the wife that I've met. So yeah, right. It depends on the women you go out with. Absolutely, real Moscow. I agree with that. I mean, my wife's very much like you. She likes walking in the park, likes, you know, going to different events that are on in Moscow. You are just used to seeing beautiful women in Russia. Yeah, that's very true, Nelly. I would say, because I've been here so many years, it's kind of like it's not as noticeable. I remember telling people on the cruise ships, you know, years ago when I went back, flying from Moscow back to the ships, and telling all the guys, you know, the amount of Russian women, you know, because we all have that in our head, right? You know, you'd have to wear sunglasses in summer because you'd be staring at girls and so on. And yeah, now it's kind of like, you know, you might be on the metro standing next to or across from someone and you wouldn't even look twice at them, you know. Models, and then yeah, thank you. Yeah, 5. Maybe both of you guys. Maybe Gary was. I thought Gary was 6 months. You guys must have both joined about the same time as channel members. Oh, Zangiv is here. Zangiv, I didn't even notice you there in the chat. Someone just mentioned that they watch your videos. So we really need to sort of hook up or chat and see where we live compared to each other in Moscow. So if you want to do that. There was 5 women to 1 man in Vladivostok. Maybe in the Far East they are. They're all out fishing, right? It's very... Greetings from Tennessee. Hello. Much appreciate your honest, positive, and helpful vlogs. You're very welcome. Reluger in. I can't really quite pronounce that, but is your wife a Tatar? I don't believe she's from that origin. She was born in Ufa. I'd have to ask her what her origins are of her family. I'm not sure if her parents are both from Ufa originally. Oh, hello from Sochi. How's it going? I feel really bad when I think about Sochi because all I think about is the Olympics. That's all I think about for Sochi. I know it's more than that, but oh yeah, Gary has 6 months. Yeah, right. It was the first thing on the chat that you were celebrating 6 months, and then now Babel is 5 months. Oh, there you go, Lacey. Yeah, Lacey Zangiv is here. So yeah, nice. Zangiv, if you want to join me in the chat, I can send you the link and we can chat in the video now if you like. I think you guys all know each other here, so yeah, I noticed. I just noticed in Western Europe, yoga pants are the norm. In Eastern Europe, women pay more attention to their attire. Rovan, absolutely, yes. Yoga pants aren't a thing here. In Australia, it's sweatpants or tracky pants, tracky dacks. Yes. Yeah. Glad you travel inside Russia with your wife. Yeah, I want to see more. I really do. Yeah, this place we stayed at was very nice. I mean, it's obviously a very summer and winter kind of place where you can stay out there. I mean, I imagine it's very different in summer and winter. We were there just at the edge. Was it before summer or the end of summer? Because it wasn't very warm weather when we were there, but it was very nice. We could sit outside and because even right now, Sunday, doing my office work. Sochi for me about Formula One. Yeah, right. That's another thing. Frank from Texas, how's it going? In parallel here, listening a bit. Yeah, I'm not very, very topical with my my chats, Zangiv. I'm sorry. It's very all over the place. I tend to follow the commentary a lot more. Yeah, it's just going back to the Lego thing. I know someone said this is not sponsored by Lego. I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, like my wife, probably more than a month ago now, she went to the JNS store, the Levi store, and she bought a Levi jacket, not a denim one. It's like a fluffy woolen kind of jacket. And, she was so happy because the Levi stores did close completely. And then they're now reopened as JNS. But the JNS company behind them is a multi-brand retail company. So they're basically going to bring in other brands as well as Levi's into these stores. And Lego, or the World of Cubes, this Mia Kubikov has mentioned the same thing, that they're going to implement other brands into the Lego stores, not just Lego. But for me, it's kind of like, I don't want it to be too much in competition. I'm happy with Lego stores as Lego stores. But the one thing that when you go to the shopping centers here, I mean, if you look at Avia Park, I mean, it's 350 stores in that shopping center. There's the 2-level supermarket. There's the 2-level home improvement store. There was the IKEA there as well, IKEA City. So it's not the full line IKEA. It's like a smaller version. That's now not there, of course. There is the Hof, which is very similar to IKEA in a roundabout way. And that's been very popular in my polls as well, that I should go to Hof and make a video. So every brand is kind of represented in these shopping centers. Whereas in Australia, for instance, we don't have nearly the amount of individual brand stores in shopping centers. I mean, just talking about Lego there, it's just opened its second store in the whole state. It didn't have Lego before last year in Perth. It was only ever in department stores, toy stores, even the supermarket I worked in, we had a few Lego models in there as well. So it was never about all the brand stores in Australia comparable to here in Russia. I mean, it's such a thing. Every shop has a brand store, which I just don't think it's overly necessary. But I guess that's just the way the shopping centers have been here in the last, let's call it, nearly 20 years or so. How's Russia with Western sanctions? Yeah, look, I guess this is the thing that's difficult for me to fully explain, because a lot of what's happening isn't affecting me personally. You know what I mean? What I do on a day-to-day basis isn't affecting me. I mean, I can say the effect on me is higher prices. So like looking at the sink for this kit for this bathroom, it's gone up from 5,000 rubles to 6,000 rubles. So it's gone up 1,000 rubles, which is, what's that, maybe $10 or $15 or so. So that's a big increase. But, I mean, you can still go find a cheaper sink that's another brand for cheaper than 6,000 rubles, so there's not a lack of availability of products. That's still available in all the shops. I mean, prices have gone up. I mean, looking at supermarkets, I mean, some of the, more Western brands are slowly disappearing, very, very slowly. But a lot of them were manufactured in Russia or were made or are coming from Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. So, I mean, things like Mars Bar and Snickers are, coming still into the country, whereas people thinking that every store is empty and there's nothing in the shops. It's not the case. How is Gleb? Nelly, he was in the chat. I don't know if he's still watching or listening. I did just send him a quick hello today. My wife also chats to his wife, because we went around for dinner. It was, 2 weeks ago now, it feels like, not too long ago. They invited us around for dinner one night. So yeah, he's good. I don't know if he might have left the chat already, I think. Depends. I don't know if he noticed that we were online even there. So yeah, he's from his comments. He's good. They've obviously got plans to move on now, he said, to Serbia. I know his long-term goal was to go on to America or Canada or some other different countries. This was even before all these events. I mean, there's a lot of people have, the dream of moving somewhere, right? But it's putting that into action and wanting to do it. So if Lego wants, they could switch off, shut off the more advanced Lego apps and Lego Mindstorms. Well, that'd be interesting. I guess it's kind of like what's happened with, I think Apple has done that sort of thing, and Apple Pay and things like that here. Yeah, we're living well. Eggs are 18 eggs are $7.17. Yeah, actually, a box of 10 eggs here. Depends on where you get them. If I buy them from the liquor store downstairs, we have an alcohol shop. I've done a video about it, and they're only about less than $1 for 10 eggs. Typically, they're about 80, 90, 100 rubles, depending on which brand and which size of eggs you buy. Which would be $1.50 for 10 eggs. But yeah, you can buy we just buy the basic classic ones at wherever they are for, the ones at the liquor store, 50 rubles, but 70, 80, 90 rubles on average. If you don't mind my thought, you'd be a great retail manager at any high-end Western brand shop in Moscow. Only missing skill is language, which you could master. Maybe plan B. Yes. Yeah, I mean, look, I've done retail all my life. Working on the cruise ships, that's purely retail as well. Although I wasn't the shop manager on the ships, I was very, very well informed about the running of the shop and how to run it and almost supervise it. Yeah, thank you, Sari. Yeah, I'd be really more interested in maybe like supermarkets or like Ashans or something bigger than like a high-end shops. I think I could do a lot more in supermarket kind of style businesses, if it would be possible. Yeah, but inflation is up all over the world. 20% sounds about right. The sanctions are designed not to affect the regular Russians. Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess even, okay, now I'm some more than a year outside of Australia, but I remember in the supermarkets, the prices going up and up and up, slowly on everything, because mostly the supply chain issues, which seem to be it was COVID that was blamed for a lot of things, and then supply chain issues are blamed for a lot of things. At one point we couldn't get eggs in the supermarket where I was working. They just get a basic delivery every day. They'd run out. They get the next delivery the next day. And the eggs are from chickens that were from within the same state. They were locally farmed chickens. So it's always a wonder who to blame, I'll be coming to Russia in a month as a med student. Do you think my monthly budget would be affected because I made it like 2 months ago? Yeah, I guess it depends on what things you want to buy, like food-wise. You know what I mean? If you really love Pringles have gone up crazy, but you can buy cheap chips for 50 rubles, but Pringles are 250 rubles, so that's really a hard thing to kind of balance, because, the cost of things like electricity, water for your apartment is not changed. Fuel hasn't changed. The rent where I'm renting is not changed. The basic commodities haven't really changed that much. We buy a lot of the like seasonal fruit and vegetables as well here, so we're not buying out of season items that have gone up in price because they're not available. So yeah, 10 eggs for 70 cents euro, right? Just bought eggs here in Florida, have gone up, still just $2 a dozen, unless you select free range. Yeah, free range in Australia was always more expensive as well. Yeah, true. Yeah, $2 a dozen. That's 120, 130 rubles. Yeah, that's, I mean, realistically in Russia here, less than 100 rubles for 10 eggs. They don't have dozens here. Tell you like shopping in supermarkets. Yeah, I'm not, Gary, I'm not the best at shopping. I'm the best at finding good deals and prices and paying attention to pricing, and also knowing the kind of their pattern for markdowns and clearances. And my wife, Jen, got tired of me bringing home discounted stuff every day from the shop. You know, like when they mark down the meats and the hams and the milks and things like that. You know, the ones with the short codes on them. $2 to $3. You can only buy free range eggs in Denmark. There we go. About £1.20. I don't know what the pound is to the Russian ruble. Don't get me started on toilet paper. Yeah, there's no worries with toilet paper here. Too much of it. As a retail manager for Russia, you'd culturally fit really well with Western luxury brands. It's about customers' perceptions. Yeah, right. Yeah, that was the one thing. At one point I went and lived in Turks and Caicos, which are the islands south of the Bahamas. I worked on an island called Grand Turk, and they brought me there to train the staff on alcohol. It was liquor, tobacco, and chocolates. That's what they brought me there to train on. But basically, it ended up being that I was training them more about customer service, about what to expect from the customers walking off the ships. You know, what time frames we had when the ships arrived in port. We were in a shop right on the cruise terminal, so the ship would arrive, they'd walk through, they'd go to the beach, they'd walk back through, they'd go back on the ship. And it was really about, you know, being on your game and being professional for that 6 or 8 hours a day that the ship is there. And when the ship's gone, there's no money because all the money's left on the ship, right? So, yeah, it was, yeah, I agree with this completely. Thank you. Here in Italy, 6 large eggs are at 189 in euros, about $2. So that's 130 rubles for 6 eggs. Wow. So yeah, 10 eggs here is okay. So that's expensive in Italy, but that's Italian prices, I mean in euros as well. Yeah. When we went to the supermarkets, even though we were living on the cruise ships in the Fincantieri shipyards, we'd still go to the local supermarkets and buy food, and a lot of the prosciutto crudo, the hams, the sliced hams, I guess, or bacons, whatever you want to call. But they were so nice, and then the ice cream. Oh my god, that was a really helpful answer. Thank you. Yeah, it's very difficult to answer. I mean, I would say that, you know, the cost of living has gone up a little bit here, but I mean, if you're buying the normal things to fill the fridge, there isn't a really big increase. You know, it's really what you want to do that costs money. You know, I always say that working on the cruise ships. I mean, it's free to live on the ship. It's free to work on the ship. The minute you get off into the port, it costs you money. So, you know, to try to go to a free beach, it's not free. You got to pay for a taxi, or you might want to rent a beach chair. So it's not free, you know. If you're going to go to a bar, it's not free. You got to pay for beers. Has caviar gone up? I don't eat caviar. My wife buys an occasional tub sometimes, and she's got like the bulk container of it in the fridge. So I don't know the price of caviar. 10 eggs was €3.40. So what's that? 3.40 euro to ruble. That's 201 rubles is €3.40. So that's, depending on the quality or the size of the eggs, that's double, Emil, if I compare that with what you're paying in Moscow for eggs, I guess. $4.50 a dozen in Australia. Wow. Depends on the region. The prices. Wow, I'm jealous of the cost of the prices I'm seeing here in New Zealand. Prices are very high, Lacey. Yeah. I know when I was here with Ben and we walked around, we went 4 times together out somewhere. You know, I mean, he was doing, I mean, the ruble against the New Zealand dollar is very bad at the moment, like the Australian dollar is bad. And, you know, he was always saying how expensive New Zealand is. Obviously, you're getting a higher wage, but it's costing more to live. And it would be more reasonable for him, his wife, and kids to live here in the long run, you know, once his kids get a bit older. Work hand in hand just to throw a monkey wrench into everything, right? Potato crisps. Yeah, Pringles. You can still buy Pringles in any, well, I wouldn't say any store, but every supermarket they have them. But it's now 250, 300 euros for Pringles. So we don't buy. I bought, actually, I bought Lay's. There you go for everybody. I bought bacon Lay's. That was what I had just before I finished. That was kind of like my late night snack. So yeah, it still can get American. Well, Lay's are American brand, right? Here in Italy now, 1 liter of milk sells for €1.50 to €2. Chow from the south of Rome. Nice. Yeah, I spent a good few days in Rome. We took the train. We were on the ship in Civitavecchia. We took the train into Rome to Rome Termini, and then there was the couple of stops earlier. You get off where the Vatican is. I didn't really do any tour of the Vatican. I was there on one of the days that the Pope was doing his mass, and there was a bazillion people there. And then we went and did our own walking tour ourselves. Me and another guy, actually a Serbian guy, he and I went for our own walking tour all around Rome. And then we got the train back because the ship was in port from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. at night. So you can get the train there and back and do everything. Red caviar isn't expensive. Right, yes. Isn't it the black caviar is the more expensive one? Yeah, the red one is the one that we definitely always have in the fridge. It's in a container about so big. As an international student, we always have our hands tight on budget, so it's good to know current prices. I'll be living in Ufa, so I believe it won't be as high as Moscow or Kazan or St. Petersburg. Right. Yeah, I mean, look, you're still going to, pay, well, not some necessarily lower price. It's going to be a little bit lower, but not by much, My eggs in Waitrose for their basic. My eggs in Waitrose for their basic, but free range is £1 for 6 eggs, 69 rubles. So yeah, that's reasonably priced in Waitrose. Yeah, the whole pack of 10, you should be able to find 70 rubles. The ones downstairs are a bit cheaper, but I guess I don't know how they get theirs for 49 rubles down there, but that's an alcohol store that sells eggs of all places. Use Asda's price of it, £1.20. We get yeah. It's kind of interesting that how the chat's changed a little bit. So far, guys, we're on 135 likes. I just want to say thank you, everybody. So whoever's done a thumbs up or a like, thank you for doing that on the video. That's very nice. We were always battling to get 50 likes. Now 100. Now it's at 135. So what we might do, guys, we might go for about another 6 minutes. How's that sound? Does that sound good? It'll be an hour and 45 then. I think normally I kind of tend to go for 2 hours, but we might kind of do a tiny bit shorter. That sounds good. I'm in Florida, and I paid 2 days ago for a dozen eggs, $4.59. They were not free range. Coke products have really increased in price as well. Yeah, that was the one thing that's different in Australia. I was buying Coke in a 24 pack, They've got a 10-pack that can go in the fridge, or it's a case is 24 or 30 cans. So I buy a case of Coca-Colas. They definitely don't have it here. It's just single cans or bottles. My current one I've got, again, is the same Mandarin Chernogolovka Mandarin, which is my kind of Russian Fanta. It's actually nicer, I think, because it's a Mandarin flavor rather than an orange flavor. So, yeah, $4.59 for a dozen eggs is a lot in the US. It's the only reason your wife wants to stay in her. Is the only reason your wife wants to stay is her business? No, not at all. No, we can happily take her gear and equipment to Australia, and she can run. It's a nail salon that she has, and she could do that in Australia. The only tiny problem we'd have in Australia is getting the equipment, like drills and polishers. They're a lot better quality over here that you buy. So yeah, it's definitely not a reason to stay here. She could easily give up the salon or close the door or rent it to somebody else. Someone else could take over the lease of it. It's definitely not a reason we're not leaving because of that at all. So it costs about 60 rubles. Yeah, Pitorishka. Yeah, so Pitorishka and Magnit is the kind of it's an average middle class store for ordinary Russians. Yeah, Magnit, I've got 5 minutes walk away, and I've got 2 Pitorishkas, actually 3 Pitorishkas I can walk to within 10 minutes. Yeah, a dozen eggs for about 60 rubles. That's about right. Yeah, 60, 70, 80, 70. Depends on which brand's in at the time, right? So yeah, cheese and onion. Oh, that's what I do miss, is cheese and onion. Walker's cheese and onion crisps. Yeah, eggs are $4 to $5 per dozen. Wow. Could you please tell the situation of fast food chains and clothing stores? Are they open, or have they left, as news channels in India are exaggerating every situation? Yeah. So depending on where you go, all the McDonald's and our Kuzna Itochkas, and I would say almost, I would imagine, I've not seen one that's not reopened anymore. Burger Kings are here. KFCs are here. You don't really see Pizza Huts here, although there is some. Papa John's I see, but that's not really a thing. And then every shopping center, every shopping center has a food court. There is enough fast food in every shopping center to keep you happy forever. Sushi, Chinese, pizza, Georgian food. I guess you could say Russian food to an extent, but there's a lot more Georgian restaurants. I guess Russian food, you'd have baby potato. Excuse me. Very sorry. Yeah, there's more than enough fast food places to eat. More than enough. Yeah, there's nothing, clothing stores, all the brands. Okay, the only one that's not reopened is Uniqlo. And is that it? Uniqlo hasn't reopened. Okay, Bershka, all of these that are the Spanish company, Investec, haven't reopened. But there's enough Russian clothing stores to keep you going forever in a day, honestly and truly. Yeah, there's more than enough places to eat and buy clothing. In Holland, it's difficult to even find a 2-liter Coke. Most stop at 125. Yeah, now with Coca-Cola not essentially here, pretty much the only Coke you can buy is in the 500 ml bottles. I think this is 1.5 liters. Yeah, this is 1.5 liters. This one. They do make this in a 2-liter bottle, I think. And they make this in glass, but this is plastic. But they do make it in glass bottles as well, which I don't see anything, because the recycling here is not up to par like it is in a lot of other countries. Thanks for the interesting topic today, Aussie Spy. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, I guess talking about Lego and pricing and things like that. Yeah, thank you. Cheese and onion. I might have to try that one very soon. Yeah, cheese and onion. I don't know if you can get them in California or in San Francisco where you are, but the cheese and onion crisps. Oh my gosh. Fun watching today. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Del. That's very nice of you. Do I like cold weather? I do prefer cold weather to hot weather now. Funny enough, in the summer, now summer's kind of ended here, obviously. Now all the leaves are starting to fall off the trees and things like that. And I mean, we had 30-degree days here, 32, 34-degree days, and I was struggling. Real Moscow Projects will attest. We went to the Lada car show that day, and we were, well, I don't know, she was probably as well, but I was in the shade, absolutely struggling with that. It was a very hot day that day we went there. And it's just weird. Like in Australia, we get 35, 40-degree days, and I was fine. And I come to Moscow, and just the fact you've got such extremes in the weather, you know, it goes from very hot summer to now mild. Now it's coming to winter. The daily temperatures going down slowly. I do prefer cold weather personally. I'm very hot-blooded as a person. So, you know, now it's 10 degrees outside. And in the kitchen here, it's 27. I've got the window open, closed at the moment here. So, and I'm feeling warm in the kitchen right now. You know, potato chips is most potato chips is most countries crisp. England and Australia. The rest of the world, potato chips. Yes, right. Yeah, it's interesting how it's like different like that. What is the name of the baked potato joint? Oh, it's Krochka Katochka. It's called baby potato. Krochka Katochka. Yeah, so it's basically jacket potatoes. I'll call them jacket potatoes or roast potatoes. They're in an aluminium foil, in a tin foil, and they're sliced open. And then they put a topping on it. So you might get like potato salad or a coleslaw or a tuna salad or I don't know what else they put on there. They put like a crab salad on top, and then you sort of mix it a tiny bit with your potato and just scoop it out of the potato skin. Yeah. Yeah, it was very. I've not been there for a while. The one at our little tiny shopping center here has closed. I don't know what happened. It opened and it was closed as quick as it opened. It's very weird. They opened a little extension of the shopping center with a Burger King there, and the little Krochka Tochka never did anything, and I'm not too sure what happened. Fast food and clothing stores are open. McDonald's is. It's not that expensive. Oh, Carol, I guess you're talking about where you live, I guess, for McDonald's. It's not that expensive for a burger here. Big thank you for today. Yes, you're welcome. Oh, in Southern California, Carol. Got it. Yes. It used to be 95 pence for a cheeseburger from McDonald's. Yeah, the 69 rubles is the cheeseburger at Kuznetochka the other day. 69 rubles. So it's about $1.10, $1.20 US, I guess. And now £1.25. Okay, you're off, and I'm going to head off as well. Thank you, Russell. Oh, thank you, Russell. See you all next time, and kisses from Moscow. Thank you, Annette, for being a very nice moderator of the channel. Here in the UK, McDonald's are ripping us off. Then yes, definitely are. Even in Australia, it's expensive. I bring rubbish for recycling. Yeah, we try to do it in our place here downstairs where we take our garbage. They've got a separate one for plastic, like the water bottles and drink containers and stuff. But I really don't genuinely know what they do with it after they take it away. I would hope it's separated, but and it's meats for 300 rubles for pork. And yeah, this is about what I'm paying as well for the meats. Beef steak, 360, 400 rubles. So yeah, about $10 a kilo for beef. Nice chatting. I can't wait until it cools off here. It's starting to look like fall and autumn, and we're down to the 80s. Yeah, so today, 10 degrees, and it was raining a little bit earlier. It hadn't rained until the afternoon here. But yeah, pretty much every day now it's 9, 10, 12 degrees during the daytime. So yeah, I'm much happier when it's colder. I know I can dress properly when I go outside. I'm not stuck between which jacket to wear. Cereal, $6 or $7 a box in Florida. Wow. Jersey Royal. I don't know what brand of potatoes we get in Moscow. I just buy whatever one we buy, and that's it. Oh, yeah, there you go. The one with crab and cottage cheese is brilliant. Yes. Yeah, they put like the crab. It's like a crab salad or a crab with mayonnaise, I think it is. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Have a safe day. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Bearbull. Nelly. Thank you, Italy. Ciao. Thank you. Ciao. You're saying ciao as well. On the cruise ships, on the ships that I work on, Carnival Cruise Line, they have all Italian deck and engine officers. And then obviously working in the shipyards in Italy as well, Italians everywhere. Ciao is kind of like, it's like the Privyet of Russia, kind of the greeting, you know? One thing I struggled a lot with was like Christmas and holidays when the Italian men would hug and kiss each other. I mean, I know it's customary and traditional, but I was always, men don't kiss each other, really. It's not a thing, but in Italy and in Europe, it's a thing. So have a great evening. It's late morning here. Yes. It's now 9 p.m. here in Moscow. So some are good for mashing, some for boiling, and some for roasting. Right. And remember to hit the like button. I think 152 likes. We have to be very happy with that. Yes. All right. I'm going to wind up here. I'm going to say a massive thank you to everybody who's watched the live stream. We've got now 134 people watching live, which is really amazing. I hope you've had a nice Sunday morning, night, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. If you're watching it in replay, wow, that's amazing. You've got to the very end. We should have some sort of secret about if you watched in the last 10 seconds or 20 seconds of the video. Yeah, it's very nice. 155 likes. So thank you. Yeah. Just when the video ends, if you might want to put a comment or some sort of mention in the comments of this video, I do like to try to reply to as many comments as I can. Obviously now with this many viewers on the channel, a video is getting 300, 500, 1,000 comments. Literally, I'll sit down for half an hour per day now and answer comments. And then it just doesn't stop. You know, as quickly as I refresh the screen, there's new comments placed on videos. So thank you. And if anyone does do super thanks on the videos, I did put a community post out just recently thanking everybody for comments or super thanks on videos. I do try to remember to pin them as the first comment on a video. So, because I don't do my own pin comment necessarily. So, yeah, if people rewatch it, it helps the algorithm. Yes. Yeah, I think it does. I assume it does anyway. I mean, just the amount of comments and thumbs ups help the videos generally. So, and if you haven't watched any of the previous videos, the Mercedes is very weird. The Mercedes car dealership video didn't do nearly as well as I thought it would, even though there's a lot of people asking for it in one of the polls that I did. I think if I do a Russian car dealership video or a Chinese car one, it might do much better, I think. Yeah, 234 Cheech, thank you. Susie, thank you. Bearbull, thank you. Yeah, John, thank you. Lots of people haven't chatted or haven't mentioned anything. No, they don't have gas in new buildings because they're higher than 9 floors. Lower buildings have a gas for cooking, so it's about engineering, not about safety. Yes, Ilya, I agree. Yeah, the older buildings or the Khrushchevkas and the 5 or 9 level buildings. Yeah, we don't have gas in our apartment building here. We don't want it either. I mean, we know there's a lot more safety issues with gas. as well. So yeah, definitely don't want it in our building if they decide to put it in. This building we're in is 14 levels, so this is relatively new building as well. I know in the studio apartment that if you've watched that video in the playlist, that doesn't have gas, that's electricity only. So thank you to you and your wife. Ciao. Yeah, thank you, Savirio. Thank you very much. It's very nice. Yeah, the car video didn't go. Yeah, the car video didn't go into car details enough. Sorry, Toad. Yeah, that's the problem with my car videos. I'm just wowed by them. Wow, check out the color. Wow, it's so amazing. Whereas if I have a friend, Matt's Beamer, who he's got a YouTube channel, Matt's Beamer, and I want to meet up with him and go for a walk and check out some cars, or we just want to go walking on the streets and look at the models of cars in the street where he lives or where I live. And he is a car buff, and I think that would help a lot. Yeah, thank you, Gary. Thank you, Real Moscow Projects, for being channel moderators today. We didn't really have any bad comments. I think there was a few deleted here and there. Yeah, wash your hands. Yeah, the algorithm counts the interactions with the stream. After the stream is over, it counts the people that rewatches it. And it counts more if you watch it at a half speed. It can blow up your channel. Whoa. Yeah, I've heard this before about people recommending that you watch the video at half speed or quarter speed so that it goes against what's called the retention rate. So, and then the, how much of the video you've watched and for how long. So, did you change your microphone? No. Is it not sounding right? Please tell me if there's something wrong with the microphone. No, it's the same one here. Everything is plugged in correct. TTs, does the microphone sound clear? Is there some sort of a noise or a feedback that's not happening? No one's mentioned it at all in the comments, so I assume everything was good. Yeah. Well, actually, we've almost naturally gone to 2 hours, which is what my normal sound is. No, normal sound. Oh my God, I've lost my mind. That's my normal length of live stream is 2 hours. Yeah, Mike is okay. Thank you. Gary as well. Thanks. Las Vegas says hello, Tim. Tim, I was watching a YouTube channel and I haven't seen another video since. I've forgotten the name. But they're a channel about playing blackjack and card games, and they're basically like they've got a camera on the table. It's not in the casinos; it's normally off site somewhere. And they teach you about how to win at the casino and what are the betting techniques. And I've not seen videos about them since. Nothing to do with nothing, but I've been to Vegas a couple of times and really enjoyed it. I saw Celine Dion in concert there. I saw Cirque du Soleil car. I saw David Copperfield. And I saw one English... Oh, no. Barry Manilow. I saw Barry Manilow in concert as well there. Would be great to see Russian cars. We don't see them here in California. You sound fine. 5x5 here. Thank you. I'm glad it's all good. I was worried for a minute when you mentioned it right at the end there. I get 2,500 rubles per month for a commercial apartment and 800 rubles for internet and phone for 120 channels. Yeah, people in the West would probably be shocked that they saw these prices. Yeah, we're paying 600 rubles. No, what am I paying? No, I'm paying 600 rubles for my phone, for the network for my phone, which is $10 a month. And then our internet is 900 rubles. I know we changed it from one plan to another, so it's 900. Yeah, people would be shocked. I love the cool weather, and I'm used to it here in the Bay Area. And Carl Fogg made an appearance yesterday doing the air show of the Blue Angels. Whoa! It's good. The mic looks different. No, it's definitely the same microphone. I normally have it a little bit lower, so Yeah, this is my Australian-made Rode microphone that I bought here in Moscow, of all places. So thank you, Lisa. Yes. All right. Actually, we're going to be exactly on 2 hours. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for the super chats. If you do put super thanks in any future videos, thank you ahead of time. Again, if you want to comment on the video after I end it just now, you're more than welcome to. And I'll try to reply to current comments right now after this. So yeah, thanks again for everybody. I do appreciate it. The super chats that come in the videos are very appreciative for the running of the channel, if that makes sense. Pretty much it's gone to buying things like the microphone, the wireless mic that you might see me using in the last few videos that I'm using now that I really love. Beats having this big fluffy microphone. So yeah, that's pretty much where the money goes to. It's not really to me going out to buy caviar. It's really just to live and to be making more videos. So thank you, everybody. Good night. And I'll see you in another video soon. I've not got anything to upload today yet. Well, I haven't today until tomorrow. So yeah, probably another video in about 2 days from now. So if you do want to watch old videos, go for it. Okay, everybody. Bye from Moscow, and I'll see you.